What if your silence was never weakness, but wisdom waiting to speak? This is not just a video. It's a mirror held by Athena herself, showing you what you've forgotten to see, what you haven't heard, despite the noise, what is waiting to be revealed when you are ready to listen. The illusion of listening, when your mind filters out the message your soul needs most. We believe we are listening, but in truth, we're decoding only what fits our expectations. There is a subtle betrayal happening within us. We crave answers, but only the ones we can understand. Your ego seeks clarity, but the universe speaks in paradox. It communicates through what you almost missed, what didn't make sense, what arrived at the wrong time in the wrong way. This is the trap of confirmation bias in spirituality, when your inner voice only agrees with what your ego has already decided. The real voice, it's hidden in the things that trigger you, that confuse you, that ask you to be still. We must come to realize that the truth doesn't always arrive in a neat, understandable package. Often it's messy, paradoxical, and jarring. Yet it is within these moments of dissonance that the universe offers its deepest messages, if we are willing to receive them. If every answer you receive only reinforces your current path, you're not truly receiving, you're projecting. Truth often interrupts rather than soothes. It demands that we pause and question rather than simply affirming what we already know. It comes as an invitation to shift rather than as a confirmation of what is comfortable. Neuroception and the symbolic brain, why you sense things before you understand them. There's a part of your nervous system called neuroception, a silent scanner that picks up emotional signals and danger before your mind can label them. This is the mechanism that allows you to sense shifts in energy, presence, and vibration. It's not woo-woo, it's physiology. Your body picks up on subtleties that your mind cannot yet comprehend. This ability to sense before you understand is not some mystical gift, but a vital survival mechanism that can also help you guide spiritually. But here's the twist. Your symbolic brain, the right hemisphere, processes patterns, metaphors, art, archetypes, the very language the universe uses. This is why the universe often speaks to us in symbols. A song that unexpectedly plays, a dream that feels too real, a synchronicity that catches your attention just when you need it. If you're only listening with logic, you're only receiving half of the message. This is why it's so essential to open your awareness to the world of symbols, not just the logical mind. The universe does not speak in plain language. It communicates in whispers of symbolism, in the emotional resonance that lingers far longer than the logical conclusions. The next time a symbol appears, don't ask, "What does this mean?" Instead, ask, "Where does this take me emotionally?" Follow the trail of resonance, not rationale. Your emotional reaction is the key to unlocking the deeper layers of meaning. The paradox of the unseen. The more you chase the message, the more it hides. This is the sacred paradox. The more desperately you try to hear the universe, the more you block it. When you're tense, focused, and demanding, your perception narrows. You become fixated on the specific rather than open to the subtle. And yet, truth rarely arrives at the center of your focus. Truth slips through the edges. It hides in the corners of your awareness, in the spaces between your expectations. It arrives when you stop searching so intensely, when you surrender your need for control and open yourself to the mystery. The mirror in the mundane. Why divine messages hide in everyday moments. A lost key, a delayed train, a song that plays just as you're about to give up. We dismiss these moments as coincidences because we've been conditioned to believe that the sacred must be dramatic, that the divine must reveal itself in grand gestures. But ancient traditions teach us otherwise. In Taoism, the way is in the ordinary. In Jungian psychology, symbols emerge from what the ego ignores. In quantum fields, reality responds to the observer, and even the most subtle observation can shift the entire pattern. When you dismiss the mundane, you miss the miraculous. These moments are not distractions. They are divine invitations, beckoning you to notice, to pay attention. The universe is not a thunderclap. It is a whisper through the fallen leaves. Are you still enough to hear it? The practice of silent receptivity. How to tune in without asking anything. You've been told, ask and you shall receive, but rarely are you taught how to receive without demanding. Receiving is an art of stillness. It is surrender without collapse. It is tuning in, not turning up. A receptive state is not passive. It is highly attuned, like the antenna of an animal sensing a distant storm. You don't need to scream for the universe to hear you. You must learn to be still, to offer your presence, not your questions. Only then can you truly listen. Instead of demanding clarity, offer trust. Instead of asking for answers, offer your presence. This isn't blind faith, it's an energetic alignment, the moment when your soul becomes clear enough for the message to land. Place your hand on your heart. Whisper nothing. Just breathe. Not to attract, not to manifest. Just to be open enough to hear the whisper that is already here. The universe is not ignoring you. It is speaking in a language your soul remembers but your mind forgot. To hear it, you must slow down, not to escape the world, but to finally feel it. The power of stillness, how the universe speaks when we stop trying so hard. There is a force that exists in stillness. It is in the pause between breaths, in the silence after a question has been asked. The universe does not need us to chase it. It only needs us to be open enough to receive its message. We have been conditioned to believe that action equals progress, that busyness equals success. But the truth is, real transformation often comes in the moments of rest. It is in the quiet moments, the pauses in the chaos, that we hear the whispers that guide us. Your soul does not shout. It speaks in the stillness, in the spaces between your thoughts, in the moments when you're not trying so hard to control everything. When you stop pushing and simply surrender to the flow of life, that's when the universe reveals itself in the most profound ways. Trusting the process. Why the journey is more important than the destination. We live in a world that constantly asks us to focus on the destination, to obsess over the what's next. We set goals, make plans, and chase after what we believe is the right outcome. But what if the journey itself holds more power than the destination? The universe does not operate in linear time. It does not care about the milestones you think you must reach. It cares about the lessons you learn, the growth you experience, and the person you become along the way. This is why trust is so important in the spiritual journey. You are not here to race to some distant finish line. You are here to walk with grace and to absorb the lessons the universe sends you at every turn. Each step you take, each twist in the path has meaning. The times you feel lost, the moments when you question yourself, These are as important as the moments of clarity. The universe teaches through paradox, and often the most significant breakthroughs come not from the moments of certainty, but from the times when everything feels uncertain. Take a walk in nature without a destination. Allow your thoughts to drift as you move without trying to force any answers. Notice the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. Trust that everything you need is unfolding in perfect timing. Let go of the need to control or predict what comes next. The journey is the gift. The sacred pause, how silence heals the soul. We live in a world that glorifies noise, from the constant barrage of information to the endless distractions that pull us in every direction. It can feel impossible to find peace. But it is in the sacred pause, the quiet spaces of our lives, that true healing happens. In those moments of stillness, we are reminded of our own essence. The noise of the world fades away, and we can finally hear our own thoughts, our own truth. Silence is not empty. It is full of potential, full of the wisdom the universe is trying to communicate to us. The pause between words, between thoughts, is where the divine speaks. Silence is a powerful healer. It allows us to reconnect with our inner voice, to hear the whispers of our soul. It creates space for us to process our emotions, to heal past wounds, and to receive guidance from the universe. The universe speaks in paradoxes, embracing the unknown. The universe does not always give us clear answers. It speaks in riddles, in paradoxes that challenge our understanding of reality. It asks us to hold two opposing truths at the same time, to trust in the mystery of life and to surrender our need for certainty. How often do we find ourselves seeking clarity, wanting to know the exact path to take, the right decision to make? The universe does not always provide that. Instead, it invites us to walk in the unknown, to embrace uncertainty, and to trust that we are being guided, even when the path is unclear. This is the essence of spiritual growth, the ability to embrace the paradox, to live with the questions, and to trust that the answers will come in time. Sometimes the most profound moments of growth come when we let go of the need to understand everything and simply allow ourselves to experience life as it unfolds. When faced with a decision or uncertainty, ask yourself, what is the lesson in this paradox? Instead of seeking a clear-cut answer, lean into the ambiguity and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. The quiet courage of the soul, standing in your truth. The universe does not always speak in obvious ways. Sometimes it communicates through your inner knowing, through the quiet courage of your soul. The true voice of your spirit is often subtle, soft, and calm, but it is unwavering. When you stand in your truth, you align yourself with the divine flow of the universe. You stop chasing approval, validation, or external recognition. Instead, you focus on listening to the deeper wisdom within you, the wisdom that has always been there, waiting for you to remember it. Courage doesn't always look like bold action. Sometimes courage is simply standing still and allowing the universe to show you the way. It's trusting yourself enough to follow the path that may not be understood by others, but that feels right in your heart. Take a moment to sit in silence and place your hand over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm of your pulse, the quiet courage within you. Ask yourself, what truth does my soul want me to hear today? Sit with that question and listen. The answer is already there. The wisdom of the quiet mind. How stillness reveals the answers you seek. In a world that constantly demands more of our attention, we often forget the power of stillness. We are taught that the louder our thoughts, the clearer the answers will be. But the truth is, it's in the quiet mind that true wisdom is revealed. When we quiet the noise, both internal and external, we can hear the subtle guidance that has always been there, waiting for us to listen. The wisdom we seek doesn't reside in the chaos of our thoughts. It resides in the spaces between those thoughts, in the stillness where we connect with our deeper self, our intuition, our higher consciousness. When we stop trying to control the flow of our thoughts, we open ourselves to a greater wisdom, a wisdom that doesn't need to be forced, but simply received. The answers we seek are not always loud and clear. Sometimes they come as a gentle whisper, a soft knowing, or a subtle shift in our perception. It is only in stillness that we can truly hear these whispers, and only when we are open to receiving them. The sacred feminine energy, reconnecting with the divine within. The universe is not separate from you. It lives within you, it moves through you, and it speaks to you through your intuition, your body, and your soul. The sacred feminine energy is the divine force that connects you to the rhythms of the universe, to the cycles of nature, and to the wisdom of your own soul. We have been taught to disconnect from this inner power, to silence the intuitive voice that guides us. But the sacred feminine is always present, always available, and always calling us to remember our true nature. This energy is not about being passive or submissive. It is about being receptive, open, and aligned with the flow of life. To reconnect with the sacred feminine is to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, and to trust the wisdom of your body. It is to honor the deep knowing that resides within you, to allow yourself to be guided by the wisdom of the universe rather than the noise of the world. Place your hands over your heart and close your eyes. Feel the rhythm of your breath and the subtle energy that flows through your body. Ask yourself, what does my soul need to remember today? Sit in silence and allow the answer to arise. Trust that the sacred feminine within you already knows the way. The dance between control and surrender, letting go to receive. In our quest for control, we often miss the magic that comes with surrender. We believe that we must steer the ship of our lives with a firm hand, pushing against the current to reach our destination. But the truth is, surrender is not about giving up. It is about allowing the flow of life to guide us in ways we could never have imagined. It is the dance between control and surrender, between doing and being, that brings us into alignment with our soul's purpose. When we learn to let go of the need to control everything, we open ourselves to receive the gifts the universe has in store for us. Surrender is not about passivity, but about trust. It is about trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. The dance between control and surrender is one of the most powerful spiritual practices we can engage in. It is the practice of letting go of what no longer serves us and opening ourselves to what is meant for us. Trusting divine timing. The universe's plan is always perfect. The universe has a way of working behind the scenes, orchestrating events and circumstances that we can't always see. Divine timing is a concept that challenges our human understanding of time. We want things to happen now. We want answers today, and we want clarity immediately. But the universe operates on its own schedule, one that is often much more expansive than we can imagine. Divine timing is not about forcing things to happen when we want them. It is about trusting that everything will unfold in perfect alignment with the greater plan for our lives. Even the delays, the detours, and the moments of uncertainty are part of the plan. When we trust in divine timing, we release our need for control and allow the universe to guide us with grace and wisdom. It's easy to feel frustrated when things aren't happening as we expect, but true peace comes when we trust that everything is unfolding as it should.
The timing of the universe is always perfect, even when we can't see it. The circle of life, embracing the cycles of the universe. The universe operates in cycles. From the cycles of the seasons to the cycles of the moon, everything in the universe moves in rhythm. These cycles are not just external, they are reflected in our lives as well. Our own lives follow cycles of growth, rest, renewal, and transformation. Each phase has its purpose, and each phase is a necessary part of our journey. Understanding and embracing these cycles allows us to live in harmony with the flow of the universe. Just as nature goes through periods of dormancy before blossoming again, we too must honor the cycles of our own lives. We don't always need to be in a state of constant action. There is a time for rest, a time for reflection, and a time for new beginnings. The universe is cyclical, and so are we. By honoring these cycles, we can align ourselves with the natural flow of life and experience true peace and fulfillment. The art of letting go, releasing what no longer serves you. One of the most challenging yet freeing practices we can engage in is the art of letting go. We often cling to people, situations, beliefs, and material possessions, afraid that without them, we will lose our sense of identity, security, or control. Yet the universe shows us time and time again that true freedom comes not from holding on, but from releasing what no longer serves us. The act of letting go is not about giving up. It is about making space for something new to enter our lives. It is about trusting that the universe has a plan for us and that we don't need to hold on to the past in order to move forward. When we let go, we allow ourselves to flow with the natural rhythms of life, trusting that what is meant for us will always find its way to us. Letting go requires courage, the courage to face the unknown, the courage to release control, and the courage to trust that what we need will always come at the right time. The dance of masculine and feminine.
The dance of masculine and feminine energies, finding balance within. Within each of us, there exists both masculine and feminine energies. The masculine energy is often associated with doing, action, logic, and structure, while the feminine energy is linked to being, intuition, creativity, and receptivity. These energies are not gender-specific, but are universal qualities present in all human beings. The universe speaks to us through the balance of these energies. The challenge is not to favor one over the other, but to learn how to honor and integrate both aspects of our nature. When we are too focused on the masculine, constantly doing, achieving, and controlling, we risk losing our connection to the flow of life, to our intuition, and to the wisdom of our bodies. On the other hand, when we focus solely on the feminine, we may lose sight of our ability to take inspired action, to move forward with purpose and clarity. True spiritual balance comes from learning to dance between the masculine and feminine energies, finding harmony in both. The power of presence, being fully here, now. How often do we find ourselves lost in the past or the future, caught in the web of regrets or worries? The truth is, the only place where we can truly experience life is in the present moment. The universe speaks to us in the now, in the only moment that truly exists. When we live fully in the present, we open ourselves to receive the messages, guidance, and beauty that are all around us. Presence is not just about being physically present in a moment, it's about being emotionally, mentally, and spiritually present as well. When we are truly present, we are attuned to the subtle messages of the universe, to the whispers of our soul, and to the vibrations of the world around us. To be present is to fully experience life without distraction or expectation. It is to embrace the moment as it is, without trying to change it or control it. When we live in the present, we are in alignment with the universe, and the universe responds to us in kind. The sacred mirror. What does your life reflect back to you? Your life is a mirror. It reflects back to you everything that is happening inside of you, your beliefs, your emotions, your fears, and your desires. The universe is constantly showing you the reflection of your inner world through the experiences and relationships you encounter. When you look at your life, what do you see? What patterns are repeating? What lessons are trying to get your attention? The mirror of life is not always kind, but it is always truthful. It shows you exactly what you need to see in order to grow and evolve. If you are unhappy with what you see in the mirror of your life, it's time to look inward. The universe is inviting you to change your perspective, to heal your inner wounds, and to shift your beliefs. When you change your inner world, your outer world begins to shift as well. Take a moment to reflect on your life as it is right now. What patterns do you notice? What lessons are waiting for you to learn? Ask yourself, what is the universe trying to show me through my current experiences? Embrace the mirror and trust that it is showing you the path to your highest self. The eternal flow of life, embracing the unfolding mystery. The universe is an eternal flow of energy, constantly moving, changing, and evolving. It does not stand still, and neither should we. Life is not meant to be static or predictable. It is an unfolding mystery, a dance of creation and destruction, of beginnings and endings. When we learn to embrace the flow of life, we stop resisting change. We stop trying to control the unknown and allow ourselves to move with the current of the universe. This is where true freedom lies, in surrendering to the unfolding mystery and trusting that we are exactly where we are meant to be. The universe is always speaking, always guiding, always inviting us to step into the unknown. The more we trust the flow, the more we align ourselves with the infinite wisdom of the universe. The power of receptivity. How to open yourself to receive what you deserve. In a world that often emphasizes action and striving, it can be difficult to allow ourselves to receive. We have been conditioned to believe that we must earn everything, that nothing comes freely. But the truth is, the universe is constantly offering us gifts if we are open enough to receive them. Receptivity is not about passivity, it's about being open to the flow of abundance, love, and wisdom that the universe offers. To receive is to trust. It is to trust that you are worthy of the blessings that are coming your way, even if they don't arrive in the form you expect. It is to trust that you do not need to chase what is already yours, that the universe is aligning everything in perfect timing. When we are receptive, we allow ourselves to be in the flow of life, to receive love, guidance, and support without resistance. In the act of receiving, we align ourselves with the divine, remembering that we are not separate from the flow of abundance. We are an integral part of it. The sacredness of rest, honoring the pause in your spiritual journey. In our modern world, rest is often viewed as something that must be earned, something that happens only when we have finished something. We push ourselves to our limits, constantly doing and striving, believing that rest is a luxury we cannot afford. But rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity. The universe has designed us to cycle through periods of activity and rest, growth and renewal. Rest is not just physical, it is spiritual. It is in the pauses of life that we reconnect with our inner selves, that we recalibrate and realign with the universe. Without rest, we become disconnected from our deeper wisdom, from the messages that the universe is trying to send us. When we honor the sacredness of rest, we honor the flow of life itself. Rest allows us to recharge, to process, to integrate all that we've learned. It allows us to prepare for the next chapter of our journey.
By embracing rest, we open ourselves to deeper wisdom and greater peace. The sacred pause between words. Why silence speaks louder than words. There is a space between words, a pause that is often overlooked in our fast-paced world. We speak, we listen, but how often do we allow for the silence between the words? Silence is not empty, it is full of meaning. It is in the pauses that we truly hear. When we speak, we often try to fill the silence with more words, with explanations and justifications, but sometimes the most powerful message is the one left unsaid. Silence allows us to listen to the deeper currents of life. It is in the silence that we connect with the divine, that we receive guidance from the universe. The pause between words is where wisdom resides, where the truth of our being is revealed. To embrace silence is to honor the sacred space where the universe speaks to us without words, through energy, vibration, and intuition. The healing power of acceptance, letting life be as it is. We often resist life as it is, wishing for things to be different, wanting to change the way things are. We fight against the flow of life, believing that if we could just control the circumstances, everything would be better. But the truth is, resistance only creates more suffering. Acceptance is the key to peace. It is not about resigning ourselves to a situation, but about acknowledging it without judgment, without the need to change it. Acceptance is a form of surrender. It is the recognition that life is unfolding as it should, and that we don't need to force things into place. When we accept what is, we align ourselves with the flow of the universe, allowing life to move through us without resistance. In this state of acceptance, we find peace, healing, and clarity. We realize that everything is as it should be, and that we are exactly where we need to be. The infinite nature of your soul, remembering who you truly are. At the core of your being, you are infinite. You are not just this body, this mind, or these thoughts. You are the eternal essence of the universe, a spark of divine consciousness. Your soul is timeless, vast, and limitless. The universe flows through you, and you are a part of the greater whole. When we forget our true nature, we become disconnected from the divine, from the flow of life, and from the wisdom within us. But when we remember who we truly are, when we reconnect with our infinite soul, we awaken to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We realize that we are not separate from the universe, but an expression of it. The universe lives within us, and we live within it. To remember your infinite nature is to awaken to your true power, your divine essence. It is to reconnect with the wisdom of your soul and to embrace the truth of who you really are. Soul Reflection Ritual. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Place your hands on your heart and feel the infinite energy within you. Ask yourself, what does my soul want me to remember today? Sit quietly and allow the answer to arise. Trust that the truth of who you are is always with you, waiting for you to remember. The messages from the universe never stop coming. They are in every breath, in every pause, in every moment. But to hear what is being said, you must slow down and trust that wisdom always reveals itself in its perfect timing. Now that you've connected with this wisdom, I invite you to take the next step in your journey. In our next video, we'll dive even deeper into how to align your energy with the universal flow to manifest the life you truly deserve. Stay tuned and get ready to expand your consciousness even further. If these words resonated with you, click on the Watch Next Video button appearing on your screen. The universe has more to reveal to you.